Good morning, and welcome to You Be the Judge. Today's guest is someone that's no stranger to You Be the Judge, someone who's very special to my wife and I, our goddaughter, and more importantly to those of us at O'Malley and Langan, former Team Player of the Year, a member of our staff for over 10 years, but more importantly, a spokesman for over 400,000 citizens who have been afflicted with Down syndrome. And she's here to tell you about what those with Down syndrome can do. And I'm here to second everything she says. So, Sara Wolff, thank you for being with us. And
thank you.
Congratulations on all of your accomplishments.
Oh, thank you very much. I just want to say that I am getting old because I've been here for 10 years.
Sara, you've done a lot in the short life that you've had for people with Down syndrome. You did it first in your community in North Pocono. You were an included student. For those without children with disabilities, what does inclusion mean to a kid that wants to go through school and be part of what everybody else does?
Like everyone else does in the world, they have college degrees, they have tons of friends to go out with, family. Just being in the community is a big step up from just being included. Included is not just for people with disabilities. Yes, it is, but also people that are without a disability. So to me, inclusion, it worked for me. I know inclusion is not going to work for everyone, but it worked for me.
Sara, when I was on the Scranton School Board, I asked you to come down and address all of our teachers. And we started out with a song by my friend Danny O'Flaherty called Every Child's a Star. And you told them the story of your education at North Pocono High School and how important it was to you. And why don't you share a little bit of that story with our audience? What were you able to do in high school and in grade school?
Oh gosh, I did so many things as a youngster. Gosh, I can't remember all of them, really. But I do remember a few things that I did. I was a fan of North Pocono because I have two brothers that played football. I have a sister, and now they're a lot older than I am, but I'm still involved with so many things since I was young. I was a cheerleader. I was part of a fan club for my brother Randy when he was playing. My brother Jeffrey as well. Even my sister, she was in so many activities, and so was my brothers. I was just, as an ordinary person, as usual.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I can remember pretty well a great talent show that you put on, dancing. You were a cheerleader. Did you play basketball?
I did. Bitty basketball. I don't know if you noticed, but basketball is one of my favorite sports. I do love to bowl, even though I'm not a great bowler, which my average is 85. I know.
It's better than I am.
Nah.
Sara, you also have some friends in high places.
Yes.
I'm going to mention a couple names.
Okay.
The Rock, tell me about him.
Dwayne Johnson, who boy. All those ladies out there. I met Meredith Vieira from the Today Show. She's very nice.
How about the day you upstaged Barbara Walters? And I'm going to brag a little bit about this, ladies and gentlemen, because I had the privilege of going with Sara to her first major speaking engagement, where she was invited to speak at the towers of the Waldorf Astoria on the top floor. Chris Burke, the movie actor, was there. And Barbara Walters was the major speaker for the Down Syndrome Society of New York. Sara was invited to speak as a self-advocate. And Sara spoke before Barbara Walters. And as we drove down there, her mom and my wife Liz and I, her mother was so nervous and said, "Sara, you're not studying your speech." And Sara looked at her mother and said, "Mom, I'll have them right here in the palm of my hand." Of course, that's a quote from who?
From Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Wish he's back to wrestling now, I've noticed.
But you gave your speech.
Yes.
And it was to say it was a rousing success would really not do it justice. But what did Barbara Walters say after your speech?
You made me cry. And then they rushed her off to fix her makeup.
She also said that if anybody ever puts her on a program where she has to speak after Barbara, or after Sara Wolff, she won't do it. It was a great speech, but that put you on your way.
Since
And
then,
you've spoken at a number of other locations
Oh,
since
yeah.
then, haven't you?
like a lot, really. I'm not like you, Todd. Like, I know you travel all the time, or every week, or every weekend. I'm not like that.
Well,
But
you're getting pretty close. You've been to Portland,
little bit.
Oregon?
Portland, Oregon, Memphis, Tennessee, Omaha, Nebraska. I spoke to medical students at Drexel.
Princeton
medical
University?
School. I spoke at our local Lackawanna Commonwealth Medical School in the upstairs of Lackawanna College. That was an experience. Actually, I had 2 speaking engagements that same day. That was one of them. But that morning, I spoke to 3rd graders. And they asked me a question. And that question was, how did you meet The Rock? That was perfectly well said. Then later in the day, I went to my second public speaking upstairs to the medical school. The first question they asked me was, "Sarah, how did you meet The Rock?" I said, "Oh, that's funny you said that because I got the same question from 3rd graders."
Sara, you just don't give speeches. You advocate. You've been to Harrisburg.
Yes.
You've been to Washington.
Yes.
You have talked to House members and senators about the need. And what's your goal in life right now?
There's so many goals I have in mind, like school. School is very important to me.
You've told me you'd like to have a college degree.
I would like to, yes.
And have you done anything towards that end?
I have 15 credits so far. I've earned by myself with no help whatsoever.
And you've attended school where? Keystone?
The very first school I went to was actually University of Scranton.
Okay.
I did a group dynamics class. Then I went to Keystone. So through those 2, I was actually auditing classes, but I ended up getting credit because I did so well and I did all the work. Then I went to Lackawanna College. I did everything by myself without any help, and Lackawanna was a challenge because I didn't really get any help from anybody. I know, very sore subject, but I do want to say it didn't really help me very much.
But you continue to strive, continue to work at it, and you're proving that people with Down syndrome can reach any level that they want as long as they work. Am I right?
That's great.
Okay. We're going to come back and talk a little bit about an accomplishment that I think is terrific, and that's the Buddy Walk in Lackawanna County and the role you played in getting it started. So please stay tuned to You Be the Judge.